Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be telling you all of the tea and the details on my lip tattoo that I got recently. I'm going to be sharing all of the healing, all of the pain, all of the information about my experience, what I think about it, what I recommend the treatment. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so if you do not know what a lip blush is, and let's face it, why would you? Lip blushing is a form of semi-permanent makeup. So it is literally tattooing of your lips. It's adding pigment or color to your lips. As we age, I've absolutely noticed I've lost volume, but mostly I've lost like definition and color around especially the borders of my lips. So while the size of my lips I'm really happy with, I've never felt like I wanted or needed lip filler because the size of my lips is good. Like they're plump still, they're a nice size. I did not want to make them any bigger. And as I've said before, I'm terrified of filler. The thought of filler, the thought of it migrating or going badly and having to have it removed and all of that terrifies me to my core. So this to me just sounded like the perfect solution to the little niggles and little things I'm becoming unhappy with about my lips without going down the filler route, which I wasn't really comfortable with. So what I wanted to achieve with lip blushing was a more defined border like to my lips and a more even but natural still pigmentation. So I had like more pigment to my lips on the bottom lip and I felt like that made them look really uneven. Like my top lip looked a lot smaller, but it wasn't. It was really just where I'd lost pigmentation and color and certainly definition to where the edge of my lips are. So the lip blushing can last 12 to 18 months, even 2 years. And the idea for me, you can get as much color or as little as you want. It can be a very, very light sheer, barely there color, or you can go for like a full-on like lipstick. For me, I wanted something that literally just looked like my natural lip color. I didn't want to do like lip swatching and the color of the lipsticks that I'm, showcasing or showing are completely thrown off by whatever really bold lip I have underneath. So I wanted to maintain still a very natural amount of color to my lips. I didn't want this treatment because I didn't want to wear lipstick anymore. Some people, that's why they might do this. You never have to wear lipstick again. You could literally just do a bit of gloss or balm and you're like done with your lips and it's going to be a perfect, crisp, like you've done liner and lipstick and gloss, but you literally didn't have to do anything. That I can understand the appeal. For me, I definitely don't not want to ever wear lipstick again. Absolutely not. I love wearing lipstick in different shades and different colors. For me, the goal was just redefining the shape of my lips and the edges and evening everything out and having my lips not be invisible when I'm not wearing makeup especially. So this is what my lips looked like before we did any treatment, just my bare makeup-free lips. I don't know how much you'll be able to see this, but I have one side of my lip line is more curved and one side is more straight. I feel like the bottom lip has more pigmentation and the top lip really fades out towards the edges and you really can't tell where my lips begin and end when it especially comes to the corners of my top lip. I also have some extra pigment that goes lower on the bottom lip than the rest of the lip line. It's almost out of where the rest of my lip line is. And that was all of the kind of elements that I wanted to address with my lip blush. So when I went into my appointment, you need to allow, by the way, 3 hours for this appointment. It is a long appointment, okay? So, buckle up. We had already done a consultation, but we didn't really talk about color until the day of my appointment. And my amazing lip tech, Charlotte, she spent a long time talking with me about what I wanted to achieve and the type of color that I wanted. And luckily, handily for me, Charlotte had her lip blush done a year ago and she had the exact same color that I was looking for and I could really see it healed and it was just perfect. So I was like, let's go with the same color that she did. So she recommended a very natural, basically my natural lip color, but just more even, more defined. I wasn't really changing it. I did originally think about going a peachy color because that's the type of lipsticks and colors that I'm drawn to, but I didn't want it to look like I was wearing lipstick if I was going makeup free, because I don't wear makeup very many days. I maybe wear makeup 3 times a week. And on those days where I'm going makeup free, I don't want to look like I'm, you know, barefaced with a really rich lipstick on. I just literally want it to look like it's my lips and they're just stunning. So we discussed the colour, we discussed all of that, and then Charlotte spent a very long time like mapping out the shape of my lips and just where we would blush. Now you cannot make your lips bigger when you're doing a lip blush. You can only tattoo like your lip skin. You can't go on to like the other type of skin. Obviously our lips are a very different skin to our faces, and you can't like sort of, you know, tattoo around them if you're trying to enlarge your lips, but they do usually make your lips look bigger just because you're defining where they actually go to. And my lips actually are much bigger than they look before the lip blush because I don't have any pigment all the way around the edges, so that's completely lost. But when we mapped this out, these lips looked delightful. Okay, look how plump they already look, just sort of highlighting them there, and that is all marked out with powder around the edges so that we could really see what we were working with and the shape. Now my lips are quite uneven. I still, even with them mapped out like this, you can see one side of my top lip is more curved than the other. Again, you can't dramatically change the shape because again, you can only tattoo where your lip skin is. So if you have very uneven lips, they're probably still going to be slightly uneven after the lip blushing because you can't really, you know, you can't tattoo onto the skin around your lips, and you don't want to sort of go underneath the border of them either. So, you know, if you have a lip shape issue, you can kind of just slightly work with what you've got, but you aren't going to dramatically change the size or the shape of your lips. And now this is when we had done that top left section of my lips. So that is where you can see the swelling is starting, and I was experiencing what this process was going to be like. Now we put a lot of numbing cream on my lips before we started, and my lips felt bonkers. I was getting the really bad giggles, like we were hysterical in there, okay, because it feels bizarre. Like, you know, when you go to the dentist and you have a numbing, you know, injection, if you're having a filling or something like that, it's like that, but 25 times worse. I couldn't feel that I had lips anymore. I couldn't feel where they were. Couldn't really move them normally. It was bizarre, but reassuring that they were so numbed. And they also felt very, very swollen, but they were normal size. So that was a really strange sensation. So then we got started with the treatment, and I'm not going to lie to you, it stung. It stung a little bit. On the pain scale, I'd say we were like at a 3 or 4. And this is the first pass. And already that little section, we're working in quarters of the lips, so you can see it's swelling, okay? Compared to the rest of my lips, the swelling is coming. It's going to get a lot worse, I tell you. So this is now where we did one full pass. The whole of my lips have been passed one time with the tattoo machine, and this is where we are getting swollen, okay? What was also quite funny is for some reason, one side of my lips was swelling twice the size of the other side. We don't know why. I'd also developed some bruising, which again, Charlotte was incredible at reassuring me about everything being very normal and telling me every step, you know, yes, you are swelling, very, very normal. Yes, we've got a little bruise coming in the center of your lips. That's very, very normal. So she was constantly communicating and just reassuring me, this is very normal. This is happening. This is very normal. And I was looking in my phone while she was going so we could kind of see what we were doing and we knew what was happening. And it was hilarious. They were ginormous, okay? They were getting swollen. And at this point I was really worried because she'd said, okay, that's the first pass done. And I'm like, what do you mean the first pass? What? At that point I was alarmed because we had got up to at times like a 5 or a 6, I'd say, on the like pain scale. Remember, we are tattooing our lips, and yes, we were using that numbing agent, but the skin isn't broken yet, so it was definitely helping. And the vast majority of it, a lot of it I wasn't feeling at all, but there were certain areas that either just weren't numbing very well or that were more sensitive. But again, just take breaks. It was absolutely bearable at all times. And what Charlotte reassured me was that on the second pass, because you've now, you know, broken the skin across your whole lips, with the first pass, the numbing agent is really going to penetrate now and be far more effective. And that was 100% the case. When your lips are already sore and really swollen and bruised, the thought of doing all of that all over again is quite intimidating and daunting. But the second pass, I literally barely felt a single thing whatsoever. So this was the finished article after the second pass. They look horrendous. At this point, we decided it would be funny to send a photo to my husband and obviously horrify him and scare the life out of him. And I just said, oh, we're done. What do you think? And then we waited to see what he was going to say. And he just said, oh, with like 100 H's. And then a few minutes later, he said, they look amazing. And I was like, what a liar. So now we know that my husband will lie to me. You know, it was a nice lie, but it was a lie. They did not look good. So at this point, directly after you've had the treatment done, they are obviously very swollen and the colour is much darker than it will eventually end up being. But this was a case of going home, ice pack on the lips. I had this treatment done on a Friday of a bank holiday weekend so that should that swelling last for a couple of days, no one was going to have to see me other than my immediate family. And let me tell you, when I asked my kids what they thought, my daughter said she thought I just had lipstick on like normal, and my son said, you look beautiful, mummy. So those people, they will lie straight to your face. So this photo is about 3 or 4 hours. This is in the evening after I had it done, and they still felt very weird. They felt very, very numb for like the entire night. I had them done, I was probably finished about 3 o'clock, and still when I was going to bed at like 10, 11, they still felt very numb, very tight, very weird, but no pain. I was putting on a lot of my Aquaphor to, you know, soothe them and just take care of them afterwards. You need to do that, and you need to drink through a straw for like the first 3 days. But yeah, the swelling was going down, but they were still very much more swollen on one side than the other, so they looked very deformed and just not great. And this is when I wake up in the morning and they were even larger, but they were starting to move. They were starting to feel more normal. My husband was laughing because he said my top lip isn't moving when I'm speaking, and that was giving him some weird feelings. It was alarming him. But they were very, very swollen still. They didn't hurt, no pain, no soreness, but they were large. Okay. The next day, the scabbing began. If you've had like, you know, brow microblading or a tattoo before, the whole of my lips scabbed over and they felt tight and rough, but really not uncomfortable, really no soreness whatsoever. And again, I just continued with the Aquaphor to like soothe and really hydrate them. And they were still pretty swollen. Then by day 2, the peeling began. This was a very painful section of the healing process for me because you can't touch them. You just have to let that skin like come off in its own time. I'm still drinking through a straw, and the most painful part of this whole process was drinking tea through a straw. It's not the same. Okay, it's horrifying. But by day 2, as the flaking and the peeling was beginning, the swelling was almost entirely gone and they were back to normal size and feeling normal and looking normal. All you would have thought where if you saw me was that my lips like looked dry, they were maybe peeling a bit, and that was pretty much all that was happening, and that continued over like the next day or so. And then by day 4, all of that peeling had happened and all of the skin was gone. The colour had really calmed down, was actually kind of starting to disappear, which again is quite normal. The color really, really fades after the peeling process, and then it comes back to like the finished kind of color. Across like day 4 and 5, they just felt slightly sensitive, but again, no peeling, no roughness. Their color looked good, and they were like completely back to normal size, and it was really starting to look like I just had a beautiful set of lips. And we are now at day 7. So this is a week later. I have nothing on my lips, just my Aquaphor, which I have to continue for another week. You can't wear lipstick or any lip product for 2 weeks after you have this done. And in 6 weeks time, I will have my top up. So that appointment, you just basically do a little touch up of any color that's faded unevenly or anywhere that needs a little touch up. We had a bit of an issue because my swelling was so uneven. I was so much more swollen on one side than I was the other, that it was really hard to see if they were even, because this side was twice the size of this side. And Charlotte was like, I don't want to kind of guess how to make them even because it was so hard to see. So we just left it and we thought on the touch up they'll have gone back to normal size and we can see. And they aren't uneven at all. They are not perfectly symmetrical because my natural lips are not perfectly symmetrical, but there is no issue for me with the shape. I'm so happy with it. I already love, you know, on no makeup days, I just like tidy up my brows and do a little bit of lip balm and, you know, maybe a bit of SPF, and I feel like so put together. It's just giving me that perfect little bit of colour, a kiss of something to the lips, like your lips but better. And I really, really like having, you know, a more defined or just a more prominent lip shape without having to wear lipstick on a day when I'm going makeup free. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm so happy with the colour. This will be, probably it will slightly fade a little bit more than this. There'll be a little bit less colour than this, and when all is said and done, and I am really, really pleased with the result. So I will keep you posted. I'll let you know, how long it lasts, how I get on with it, how my top up goes and all of that. But if you have any questions about this treatment, if you have anything you want to know about the process that I didn't answer in the video, please let me know in the comment section down below. If you've had this treatment, I'd love to know how it went for you, how happy you were with it, what kind of colour you went for, how long did it last for you. I will say that I am an aftercare queen. Anytime I've had like my microblading, brow lamination, this lip treatment, tattoos, anything like that, piercings, I am queen of the aftercare. I will smash it every time. I do it to a T. Religiously, I stick to it. So yeah, that's what I'm currently doing at the moment. Aquaphor only on my lips, not applying any makeup on my top lip, just really treating them nice. I used a straw for like 3 or 4 days. I'm still using a straw whenever I can, keeping them dry. I am killing it with the aftercare, and that is hugely important when it comes to, the after result and also how long it will last. You really need to take care of them that first few weeks. So there you have it. I hope this was helpful and answered any questions you might have about this treatment. But as I said, any more questions you have, let me know in the comment section down below. But I hope you enjoyed this video and I'd love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye, 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 bye.